Welcome to another episode of Voices. It's the traveling show of Voices today because we're here at the Alberta Saskatchewan Waterfowl Hunting Expo. And I'm joined today by none other than the world-renowned Brad Fenson. So Brad, thanks for taking some time out of the busy expo today and sitting down with me and chatting for a few minutes.
Thanks for making the time.
Yeah, it's I think about when you and I first met and when we go back, and we've chatted a little bit about this already today because we've been talking with a lot of people. You and I first met way back when it was an SCI event at a horn scoring, and you did like a cooking seminar. And I was like, oh, what's this guy about? And then everything from there, I've learned so much from you. But I call you the outdoorsman extraordinaire, like whether it's bushcraft, hunting, fishing, on TV, writing. It's you do everything that there is to do with the outdoors. How did you originally get into the outdoors?
The honest truth is that I was feeling sorry for myself.
Okay.
So I had a big ice fishing trip planned with my buddies. We were going to go out and set up a tent, live on the lake, camp overnight, camp for the weekend. We had a huge snowstorm hit, shut down the city. Couldn't even drive down your front street. I was stuck at home for 3 days.
Whereabouts was this?
In Edmonton.
Oh, in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Okay.
So years ago, people were snowmobiling up and down the streets. You couldn't go anywhere. Anyways, feeling sorry for myself, bored out of my tree. So I sat down and wrote a story about a deer I shot that year and sent it into a magazine.
Wow.
And they published it and they sent me a check. And that's kind of when it all started. It was where it started.
How old were you at that time?
Young, early 20s.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And were you living like an outdoor lifestyle before that point, or?
I've always been a major addiction to the outdoors.
Okay.
Hunting, fishing, camping, canoeing. You know, what's changed, I've added conservation and family events and all the rest of it, but hunting, fishing, camping, conservation, and cooking are pretty staple for us.
Right. So did you grow up in a house like mom and dad were outdoors people as well, or?
We did a lot. You know, my early days remembering going out camping, getting away for the weekend, summer holidays, the old woods, canvas tent, the oil tents, and the little tinner boats, and we always had lots of fun, caught lots of fish, and did our thing. Yeah.
So with the amount of what I'll call work that you're doing, does it ever feel like work for you, or is it just stuff that you love to do?
You know, it's funny you say that because people see your Facebook posts and stuff and think all you do is hunt and fish.
Right.
So, I mean...
That's not true.
No. In the last 2 weeks, I've typed just over 120,000 words. So, I mean, I spend most of my time doing this, not this.
Right.
Yeah.
And where can people find your work? Like which magazines and where can they find you?
You know, I've written for over 60 different publications and online markets. If you Google my name, there's over 200,000 hits come up.
Oh, wow.
So you can use different search engines to get different results, but there's a lot online. And if you just do it with a smart search, use my name plus whatever it is you want to learn.
Right.
Like duck recipe or elk hunting or conservation, and it'll really change what comes up.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you talk about, I say way back when, not that you're an old guy, way back when you wrote that first story, and to where we are now in a digital world with social media, and you can do video posts and you can do podcasts and talk about this kind of stuff. You've probably seen a lot of changes in your time.
Yeah, lots of changes, and you had to adapt or you got left behind.
Right.
Yeah.
So how have you had to adapt from the early days of writing? Or are you still adapting?
When I started, I was still typing in DOS.
Okay.
Yep. There was no Windows yet.
Yeah.
So the adaptations are big, they're significant, and they continue to happen. You know, everything was print media at one time. It was hard to break in the door, get to know editors, do stuff, but just a slow and steady approach, never a hindrance or a bother, just a soft sell.
Right.
And it took years, but once it started to pick up, I got momentum, and it's a full-time job now.
Yeah, for sure. And that was what I was going to ask. Is this what you do on a full-time basis, or do you have a real Monday to Friday, 9 to 5? Or
no, this is it.
This is it.
I call it outdoor communication. So I do journalism, photography, have the Harvest Your Own podcast.
For sure.
I've done some contract work for TVs, and I do other specific contracts for conservation work, and and different things like that.
Right. I think you nailed it on the head when you say, like, I'm an outdoor communicator, because you communicate in so many different fashions and platforms, and even something like this today, what we're here at as an expo, where you get to communicate. Like, you and I are communicating, but as we've walked around for the rest of the afternoon here, we're talking with different people. So what do expos like this, the one that we're in here today in Camrose, what does this do for people that are in the industry like you, or for people coming to visit, or how do we all benefit from this?
You know, the biggest one is sharing your passion. I think we all benefit if there's people that are involved in hunting, want to get more involved in hunting, and our numbers can continue to grow. You know, Albertans are funny. They're like, we don't need any more hunters. It's crowded enough. Back in the 1980s, we had 86,000 waterfowl hunters. We have 17,000 today.
Wow.
So don't tell me there's not opportunity. All of the waterfowl hunters in Canada, from coast to coast, don't number the number of hunters that are in Louisiana as one state.
Wow.
So we're spoiled.
Yeah.
When I hear people say, oh, it's too crowded, there's not enough opportunity, there's too many. Yeah, you know what? It's a first world problem. We have it better than most jurisdictions anywhere else in the world. We have better diversity, better opportunity, diverse habitats. We live in a very unique, wonderful world here.
Yeah, and you're not the first person I've talked to about that today when we talk about sharing knowledge or expertise or sharing our passion, right? Because I think as wide as our hunting community is, it's very tight, and we want to see each other succeed. And maybe we're not sharing GPS locations of here's where I go when I want this, but if someone has questions, we're pretty free to share information and what works. So, yeah.
I mean, I know that that's what you do. You try to inform, educate, entertain. It's part of the business, right?
Yeah.
It's not one segment that can make you successful, because people want to learn, but they also want to be entertained, and all the rest of it that goes along with it. It's our quick processing world that we live in.
Yeah.
People want that 30-minute fix on social media. They want to laugh, giggle, maybe learn something, move on. Oh, now I'm going to learn how to cook something. And oh, now look, I learned something new to the garden. And people have become very hungry for instant gratification.
Yeah, and it's weird when we look at things like with your podcast and whatnot. I'm sure you do the same things that I do. It's like, what are people looking for? What is the content? What's the length of it? Do they like 20 minutes? Do they like an hour and a half? And it's like, what's going to capture people's attention? And I mean, everyone's going to be captured to something different, right? What interests me isn't going to be what interests the next guy. Do you worry about that when you're doing your communications for the outdoor world? Are you worried about what people want to hear, or are you sharing what's important to you?
It's more about what I think people are starving for. So, I mean, Harvest Your Own is a unique market because it's really geared towards either people that aspire to become hunters or have just started, want to start, or they hunt maybe waterfowl, but they want to expand into deer and other things, or archery.
Right.
So Harvest Your Own is set up to be a library with podcasts, written material, videos, photography.
The Brad Vice.
The Brad Vice. To provide that information to get people to take the step or the next step, or to be, confident when they go out that, oh, I can do this, I don't need a GPS location to hunt elk. I'm going to practice with my call, do this, do that, get ready, and I'm going to go out and try it and see if I can't strike a bull. If you strike a bull and it answers, that's success.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? You had an encounter.
Right. It doesn't have to end up in your freezer every time to be called a success. And that's part of learning as a hunter, is learn how to identify your successes and the meaningful things that are happening in the outdoors. Because the more meaningful things you allow to happen and recognize, the better every day is.
Yeah, and you touched on something there with learning, and it's funny how what I learned, like from watching your videos and just the different tips and techniques, I think we all maybe do similar things. It's like, oh, interesting, and it's funny because there'll be certain things that go back to, I could have used that when I was in that situation. It's like whatever we're learning is going to help us. And even watching on the main stage just across the hall from us today, listening to the people like TJ Schwanke and Amanda Lynn Mayhew, where they have so much of their story to tell, but you pick up different pieces in there along the way, and it's just, you never stop learning. So
you have to want to be a sponge.
Yeah.
Open the door to learning. Don't think you're a know-it-all or that you don't have room to grow. I mean, my best days, I still say every time I go outdoors, I learn something new.
Yeah. Yeah.
And things are never static. Whether you hunt, does the whitetail buck do the same thing every day?
No.
Does he react to his environment the same every day?
Yeah.
You know, those are the things that make it interesting. Is you think you got it figured out? Well, they're going to teach you. There's a new lesson. There's a next chapter.
Yeah. And it's funny because I have people that ask me, I have a passion for hunting elk.
Yeah.
It's taken me a long time and many years to learn how to communicate with them, and I definitely don't have it figured out. But people say, well, what do you do in this situation? I'm like, well, here's what I would do, but sometimes it's worked and sometimes I get them turning around and running. Like, it's so much of situational,
right,
and what to do when. And we talk about learning from other people. So the podcasts that I listen to, the speakers that I listen to, the material that I read, I'm like, oh, okay. Try to remember that when things aren't going my way, and maybe I'll use that, and it's helps everyone be successful. So
yeah, and it's strange because you can go out and bust a bull one day and call him in and put an arrow through him the next day.
And we've had that.
Same elk.
We've had that.
Yeah.
It's been first night, bulls on the ground, and we've had last day. We've heard one call all week, like, what's
Right.
going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, with this being kind of like a, not dedicated towards waterfowl, but a waterfowl hunting expo, I say I've never waterfowl hunted. My very first hunting experience was with my cousin, and he goes, hey, we're gonna go out, we're gonna hunt Canada geese. I'm like, okay. And I don't know what time it was in the morning, but it was dark and it was really early.
Oh, dark 30.
And we hauled the decoys out, and we had his dog there, and half an hour after sunup, he's
Yep.
like, okay, I'm tagged out, we're done. And I had no idea about limits or anything. And that's really the only time I've ever waterfowl hunted. So
Yep.
you're a seasoned veteran for waterfowl. How easy is it for someone like me, someone new to it, to know what to do, where to start? What would you suggest for someone that wants to get into waterfowl?
Well, you know, it's interesting because we have those specific topics on Harvest Your Own. You can go online, look up an article to tell you exactly what you need to get started. But again, we're spoiled in Alberta. Mm-hmm. I mean, half the province is Crown land.
Yeah.
We have 180 properties in Alberta that are owned by conservation organizations where you have foot access.
Right.
We have hunting out in every community there's access where you don't even have to ask for permission.
Is there more than just the ACA sites? Is there other sites?
Absolutely. Alberta Wildlife Federation, Nature Conservancy of Canada, Ducks Unlimited Canada.
Wow.
There are a lot of conservation lands and landscapes in Alberta that people can take advantage of to hunt, photograph, berry pick, do all these wonderful things in the outdoors. But Albertans are spoiled. Most of my bird hunting buddies don't even wear or own a set of waders. Okay. How easy is it to get into duck hunting? September 1st, the season opens. There's birds on every wetland.
Yeah.
6 decoys, set of waders. You can shoot a limit of ducks on most wetlands.
Really?
Yeah. You don't have to have 10, 12, 15 dozen decoys, calls,
Right.
blinds, this, set up in those fields. That's a choice.
Yeah.
You know, I've got friends that have dogs. It's not ducking to them if they don't do it over water. That's part of the mystique for them, part of the magic. So everyone gets something different, but if you've never done it before, there's lots of different avenues to look down before you say, oh, that's the way I want to do it.
Okay. So like anything, there's so many options, and how you can do it is
Absolutely.
A bunch of different ways. Is it easy to get permission from landowners for geese, duck hunting?
Yeah,
I would assume in my mind, I'm be like, well, they come in, they eat your crops. Of course, the farmers, landowners are going to want them off of there. But is it that easy?
I'd say the majority of them, if you go knock on their door and say you've got 2,000 geese feeding on your swath barley, they're going to say, can you come tomorrow morning? They want them out as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But there is competition. So you might go knock on the door and they say, oh, I'm sorry, somebody was here this morning and already asked. Okay,
Fair.
Go find another one.
Fair.
Or, change your plan where you don't always just hunt fields, hunt some water, do different things. But there is a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. What are some of the suggestions? I mean, it could be a scary thing to find a map, find a farmhouse that you're driving by, or even you see the geese on the field and, oh, there's the house. I got to drive up, I got to knock. How do you start that conversation with a landowner?
Well, look at it from their point of view. Do you ever think that a farm couple sees a stranger drive into the yard that they've never seen before and come knock on their door?
I'd be a little
I'll tell you
bit
what I do.
apprehensive.
Knock on the door, take 3 steps down, stand at the bottom of the steps so you're not intimidating.
Yeah.
Tell them your name to start with. Tell them what you're doing. Ask if they allow permission for hunting, and start the conversation that way.
Yeah.
You're not in their face. You're not intrusive. But you backed off. You're a polite person. You're looking to see what their interests are. You're telling them what yours are.
Yeah, I've had, and I don't do a lot of door knocking, and maybe that's because the places that I've secured permission on is currently working for me. I don't have to. But even on different land maps where I've gained a phone number and I phoned and be like, hey, I'm driving by your property, what would it take for me, and have that conversation. I find that a lot of times other people that haven't respected the property owner's wishes, rules, regulations, they're like, you're probably a really nice guy and I get it, but we've had bad experiences.
And that happens, but I'll say that happens a lot more when you use a telephone rather than doing it in person. When you can go knock on their door, walk to the bottom of the steps and show them that you're polite and ethical and everything else, right from the first second, it makes a big difference than talking to somebody you don't even know what they look like.
Yeah, for sure. So for someone like yourself that's been around every types of outdoor situation, what do you think the biggest improvement has been in the outdoor world in the last 10 years? Whether it's a gear, whether it's a regulation, whether it's
optics.
anything.
The original rifle scopes way back when, they had the Weaver K4, Redfield came out with a wide angle. They were revolutionary. Think about what we have today.
Yeah.
So our firearms have come to the point where they're extremely accurate. What's the number one limiting factor for their accuracy? Either you or the optic you put on it.
Right.
But there's optics now that are just absolutely incredible in terms of what they can do, not only in magnification, but in ballistics and electronics and range finding and lit reticles. And I mean, I think I'd have to say that optics have seen the biggest increase in not only value, but usable functions that can help change your success rate.
Right. Does that give hunters an unfair advantage?
I don't think it gives them an unfair advantage. I mean, it might if you're looking at people that shoot long range, long distance, if you're shooting an elk at 800 yards. But I don't know a lot of people that do that. I know a lot that talk about it, and they might shoot some targets. But you still have to have good hunting skills to get out there. And where I hunt elk, there is no such thing as an 800-yard shot. You know.
Yeah, I just finished talking to TJ about that because he was telling on his stage presentation about in the open where they hunt elk, and man, your closest shot might be that 500 yards. And I'm like, oh my God, my longest shot at an elk is 35 yards because that's all I can see through the bush. But yeah, different situations for sure. You do a lot of hunting with crossbows as well.
Yeah.
So my son Jax, who used to hunt, doesn't anymore, used a crossbow for a while. I did have permissions for him, like the legal documents that he could use a crossbow in an archery season. Is there a crossbow season in Alberta right now, or is it strictly still follow the general regulations?
No, there's the primitive weapon seasons in Strathcona County, Camp Wainwright, where you can use them along with archery equipment or muzzle loaders or shotguns. It depends on the season and then the specific license that you have.
Right.
Crossbow licenses right now, you don't have to have a doctor's note per se, but you have to have proof of your limitation in terms of why you would need to use one.
Right, if you wanted to participate in the archery season.
Yeah, and I suggest anyone that's interested, look it up in the regulations or phone Fish and Wildlife. It's your responsibility to prove it, so you have to start by understanding what you need yourself. Don't listen to somebody else. Do it yourself.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess at the time of this recording, it's August 15th. Hunting season is right around the corner.
Knock, knock, here it comes.
Ready or not, it's coming. What's your fall hunting plans this year? You got draws, or what's on the agenda?
I did draw an antelope tag. I'm going to start off bow hunting for moose and elk early season. I really like getting up, sort of breaking myself in, getting my legs back and all the rest of it, get out and do some of that. Waterfowl is always big on the list, so speckle bellies will be here early season. Last year they were here, the first ones I saw were August 15th.
Okay.
So the birds are starting to move, they're going to start moving in, lots of opportunity right from September 1 on. Then antelope, more waterfowl, more upland game birds. If I don't have an elk in the freezer, more elk hunting for sure. Got some family that has a moose tag. I hope to go out with them and call a moose and enjoy that part of it as well. And have several opportunities to hunt in the States again this year. I'll be in Wyoming, South Dakota, maybe Illinois, Texas. And then lots of stuff here.
Nice.
Whitetail, mule deer.
How do you keep up with your writing? Like when you talk about how many articles you've written, I mean, you're doing more than 1 or 2 a week. How do you maintain your writing while you're out in the field?
You take your laptop with you, and when you have an opportunity to write, you write. So years ago I said if I'm sitting on an airplane, it's dead time, it's wasted time. If I sit on an airplane or in an airport, I'm doing this.
Right.
Whether I draft something, make notes, do something.
You're working.
It's dead time that you can't use for anything else. I'd rather get work done then so that I can maybe sit in the tree stand or run some elk trails or be in the waterfowl blind. But it's a commitment, it's a job. So if I don't have my deadlines met, it means I can't go in the field.
Right, right. What's, unfair question, what's your favorite animal to hunt?
It's changed over the years a lot. But right now I'd say it's elk. And I think it's because of the interaction you have. It's the being able to communicate, talk, figure it out. Not only does it change minute, hourly, daily, yearly, but you know it's a evolving puzzle. It's hard to figure out exactly what the pieces are, and sometimes when they come together, you don't know exactly what you did right.
Yeah,
you're just grateful for it.
Yeah. Do you think the weather that we've had this year with all the rain? I know when I went out, did some scouting, hung some cameras. Every low spot was a swamp. I was like, wow. I mean, where last year when I was out there in September, plus 30, not a lot of water, everything's dry. Is that going to have an impact on the hunting season?
It can change the travel corridor. Instead of, they're not going to walk through a wetland where they can go around it or move it. Maybe the bugs will alter their stuff and they'll be at higher ground, more windy locations. You know, where things were really wet, some of the grass is incredibly tall up over the fences.
Yeah.
So there's lots of good protein. Last year we were in a drought. Now they've got so much moisture that the feed that is there is actually pretty good value. It's got high protein and it's way better than what we had last year. But you know, things change yearly. We hunt in areas where we have agricultural crops, and that changes movements from early season. Someone harvests a crop, deer, elk might move miles.
Yeah.
You don't know. You got to sort of keep up with it. And that's that ever evolving game of trying to keep up and figure things out. That's part of the draw. That's why we do it. If you went out every time and shot a deer, it would probably get kind of dull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if we chatted about this earlier today. Do you run a lot of trail cameras or no?
Yeah, more and more all the time.
More and more?
It's an addiction on its own.
Yeah, I hear you. I can never have enough. My trail cameras this year have been a little bit slower, both in the elk area that I hunt and closer to home in the bow zone area. Everything seems a little bit different. Are you noticing the same thing?
No, I still have a lot of traffic on my cameras, and a lot of stuff that I've been watching for years come back. I am seeing some strange stuff. One of my deer properties where I've hunted there for 20 years, on the ground, run cameras, never seen an elk. I had a huge bull show up there this year.
Nice.
I don't know where he came from, what he's doing, but he didn't bring any of his lady friends with him.
Yeah.
So there's always unique surprises. It helps you increase your time spotting without having to be in the field, but it doesn't replace it.
No, and that's. I mean, I used to think I had everything captured when I have a dozen cameras on a quarter section of land, and then it's how is this here and why did that happen? And even this spring when I was bear hunting with the cameras that I had, I was sitting in the stand one night and this beautiful colored, like red looking bear came in from my left, and I was like, wow. And camera was on, trail camera was there, I was there with my bow, and I'm like, I am ready. And it stopped about 3 feet before that camera, didn't know I was there, and just decided to go around it. And if I solely relied on trail cameras, I'd be like, that bear's not there. I would have had him on camera. Right. He would have gone to the bait. He would have done this. But yeah, it's I like them because they give you, I say entertainment and information, but it doesn't give you the whole picture.
Right. Sometimes it gives you inspiration.
That is true.
Right.
That is true.
You only need one picture of a big buck or an elk or something to say, I'm going to spend more time. I need to go scouting. I need to do something. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Brad, thank you so much for taking the time out of the busy day from the Expo here to sit down and talk to me.
Anytime.
Give people one more reminder of where they can find you, your podcast, your channels, and whatnot.
Harvest Your Own is the podcast. And the best way to find my stuff is just Google my name, Brad Fenson, and really interesting handle for Facebook, Instagram, Brad Fenson. Keep it easy.
The one and only.
Right.
Awesome. Okay, Brad, thanks again for joining me.
Thanks,
and
Jeff.
we'll catch you next time on the next episode of Voices, which is a podcast by DOA, Doorward Outdoor Adventures.